Hey, driving intelligence community, working on the SVO Mustang again. It's a 1985 model. Just got finished doing some toe-in adjustment, and now I want to put the trim on that is SVO specific, only from the 84 to 86 models. Here are the Spats, and then there's the rocker trim. I've cleaned these up, painted them. For you, those of you that are purists, obviously it doesn't match the exact Mustang, but it's mine, not yours. Anyway, I've got to put it in here, and I'm going to start with the Spats, and to do that, to make sure it's sealed through these holes and I don't get any moisture coming in, I'm going to use butyl tape or butyl rope that came with a rear window replacement that I did on the F-150. So let's get started. I've ripped a piece of this butyl tape off and I'm going to wrap it around these bolt holes, and similar to what happens on that F-150 rear window, when you compress this against the metal, it's going to make a tight seal preventing any moisture from coming in. All I've done is wrap that butyl tape around each of these studs. By the way, just attention to detail, I took these brackets off, which are easy to remove, and I de-rusted them and painted them with Rust-Oleum gloss black, and even though they're beautiful, they'll never be seen again. Attachment of the wheel spat is really very simple. You've already seen the two studs that go through the body. I'll show you that in a second. You've got one screw behind this rocker trim, two screws into the body from beneath, three screws from behind going into the fender, and then you've got the two nuts over here that have to be removed to release those studs right there. Real easy to get to. I took out the entire interior to do this before because I wanted to paint the interior plastics. Well, it turns out that this is all you need to remove to get to those two studs. I think there's one mounting screw here. I don't see anything else holding it in. You can just pop that off and leave the rest of this interior material in to get to those two studs. Real simple. With the Spat installed, the fun part is going to be putting this SVO specific rocker trim on here. And you can see there's four clips, and then there's one bolting in location here. We've already done a test fit, so we're going to show you how we got this done. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would have to slide it in from the front, but it turns out it snaps into place. Something I want to point out before I reinstall this rocker trim is that it bolts through the front quarter panel. Now, I thought originally that it riveted through. That looked like a rivet, but this unique fastener bolts through the front quarter panel. You have to take out this fender liner to get to the nut on the back side, then it's much easier. And it comes off with the rocker trim. To install this unique fastener, on the back side, you'll see a couple slots. First thing you want to do is get that spring under that little lip, and then you'll just push it down into place. And now you can move it from side to side to line this up with the hole that's in the quarter panel. Part of the reason for this project was to correct a hit and run dent in front of the rear wheel. I used Paintless dent repair that required I remove the interior trim panels, and the results speak for themselves. This is a great, cost-effective option to traditional automotive body repair. Before showing the final install, I want to point out that I had a lot of problems with fit and finish of the driver's side rocker trim. I had to drill a new hole to improve the alignment of this part that Ford screwed up at the factory. You can see this and other Fox Mustang build quality issues in a previous video linked in the description, and as usual I also link all materials used in this video. Although not a full restoration, I like the final product, and I definitely like a foxbody Mustang with the SVO wheel spats. Now on to how I painted all these components, and please don't forget to like my video. The wheel spats were in really rough condition. I sanded to correct the previous painter's horrible work, especially where they left drips. I then applied several coats of duplicolor dark shadow gray metallic base coat, which pretty much matched the rest of the paint on the vehicle. The rocker trim was in even worse condition. I removed all the original paint using aircraft aluminum paint remover and 4/0 steel wool. This took a lot of time and elbow grease, as you can imagine. With all the paint removed, I repaired all the dings using Bondo to get a smooth surface. I used Rust-Oleum self-etching primer front and back on the trim, and this provided a really nice surface to work with. After sanding, I applied the same Duplicolor base coat I used on the Spats and hit both the Spats and rocker trim with Spray Max 2K clear coat for a durable high gloss finish. Moving on to the body of the Mustang, I tried to match the color as close as possible under the Spats and rocker trim, and that's why I used the dark shadow gray metallic paint. After sanding and cleaning the body of the Mustang, I applied the same Duplicolor base coat, and then to make sure the paint was protected, I used Rust-Oleum 2X Gloss Clear, even though this paint would not be seen after install the trim components. I'm really happy with the result of all this work, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time on Driving Intelligence.